I'm back again. So today we're going to start our Samhain Storytime series. We are going to start it with Cat Nights by Jane Manning. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a story about Samhain or Halloween. Some wonderful pictures in this one, guys. See all the witches around the table. Felicity's goblin green cake blazed with candles. It was her 263rd birthday. For a witch, 263 is a very big year. It's the year she grows her first wart. The year her shoes begin to curl up at the toes. And the year she's able to cast her first love spell. Felicity was as happy as a ghost on Halloween, but not because of the warts or the curly-toed shoes. She was happy because tonight she was finally old enough to turn herself into a cat. Felicity couldn't imagine anything in the whole witchy world better than being a cat. Please tell me about having whiskers and seeing in the dark. Is it fabulous? She asked her older cousins. It's good, but flying on your broomstick is better, Wanda said. I like brewing potions more, Willa added. Believe me, brewing is best, said Woo. Felicity smiled a catty smile. Usually her cousins were right, she thought, but not this time. So you see what she's growing? Mugwort, wolfbane, and dragon's blood. The sun set and the moon rose. Felicity was so excited she could hardly say the words of her cat-changing spell. Give me whiskers and moonlight sight as I become a cat tonight. My witchy self will now be gone, but I'll return by break of dawn. Poof! Felicity's face sprouted whiskers, and her fingernails became razor-sharp claws. She had night vision and four-paw drive, and a beautiful long tail that switched and twitched for balance. With one sure leap, she was over the wall and gone into the night. Felicity raced under the stars. The moon looked so much brighter through a cat's eyes. The wind seemed so much fresher through a cat's nose. The earth moved so much quicker under a cat's paws. The night seems to pass in the blink of a cat's green eye. But there are rules for just about everything in life, even for witches, especially for witches. For example, only a charmed broomstick can fly. The fresher the newt, the better the spell. And a witch can change into a cat only 8 times and still be able to turn back into a witch. See, fresh newts. The 9th time, she remains a cat for good. All those times. 8th time is okay, not the 9th. However, rules were not on Felicity's mind the 2nd night. She spent the whole day looking out the window, waiting for the sun to set over the trees, and planning what she would do once it did. When the first stars sparkled in the night sky, Felicity decided to find out how fast she could run on her 4 paws. She burst out the door, racing across fields and farms and clear through Briartown woods. There she goes. On the third night, she joined some other cats to yowl at the moon. On the fourth night, she used her strong tail for balance, leaping from roof to roof to roof all over town. On the fifth night, she explored mysterious places using her whiskers as her guide. On the sixth night, she prowled about the Gellers' farmhouse right under their sleeping noses. By the seventh night, Felicity's cousins were certain that she didn't care a whisker about the rules. Only 2 more nights, Wanda reminded Felicity. I know, said Felicity. Then she leapt out of the window after a fat bat. At the first hint of a sunset on the 8th day, Felicity's cousins sat her down and looked her hard in the eye. This is the last time, Felicity, Wanda warned. The finish, said Willa. The enchanted end, said Woo. Felicity saw that her cousins were worried about her. She didn't want to upset them. After all, they'd taught her how to fly on her broomstick and how to cackle with style. Maybe I'll stay in tonight, Felicity offered. Good, cheered Wanda. We can toast newts on the fire, said Willa, and make toadstool tea, said Woo. But just as Felicity was about to toast her first newt, she felt the whisper of fresh night air coming through the window. It made her miss her whiskers and wish for her tail. It was far too splendid a night not to be a cat. In a flash, she was out the window, moonlight sparkling in her eyes. Wanda, Willow, and Woo shook their heads and scratched their pointed chins. They knew they had no choice. For as sure as brooms fly, at sunset tomorrow, Felicity would change herself into a cat again. Then no amount of magic could turn her back. The next morning, while Felicity was sleeping, they whispered a spell over her. Cats are dusty, hairy, sneaky, smell like fish, scary, creepy. Who would want to be a kitty? Surely not Felicity. As she slept. The next evening, Felicity slumped around the house, drank a glass of milk, and stared sadly out at the moon. Don't you want to be a cat? Wanda asked, with a secret smile. Not tonight, said Felicity. She went to bed early. Felicity hardly ate her dinner the next night. Would you like to take a spin on your broom? Willa asked. Too tired, said Felicity. The whole next day, Felicity never even got out of bed. I think the spell we cast was a mistake, Wanda said. A bad idea, said Willa. A magical misstep, said Woo. So, as Felicity slept, the witches whispered a spell, remover, over her. The spell we cast was a mistake. It really was a boo-boo. Remove our spell from Felicity so she doesn't feel all boo-hoo. Felicity woke up. It only took a moment for the sparkle to return to her eyes. She ran to the window and took a deep breath of cool night air. What a beautiful night to be a cat, she cried. You know you've already changed 8 times, Felicity, warned Wanda. This will be 9 times, said Willa. 9 spells cast. This is your last, said Woo. Felicity knew that it was the last time. She knew she could never change back again. She knew she'd miss her cousins. But she also knew one other thing. More than anything else in the whole witchy world, she wanted to be a cat. Poof! And that's just what she became. And then there's a little bit of information. Note, the phrase cat nights comes from an old Irish legend. It says that a witch could turn herself into a cat 8 times and still be able to return to her witchy self, but on the 9th time she couldn't change back. From this legend comes the saying, a cat has 9 lives. Since cats like to prowl about on summer evenings, especially in August, nights at that time of year have come to be known as cat nights. Meow. The end. So that was Cat Nights by Jane Manning. And what a great book for Samhain time. Have a great night. Blessings.